Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to replace the throttle lever mechanism on your snowblower with a Tecumseh engine. And what I have in the shop today is a Naren's snowblower 1332 LE. And this one has an overhead valve Tecumseh engine. Now the problem with this snowblower is that the lever is very loose. So if you throttle up, you want to go through a big snowbank, the throttle actually goes back down and you lose the revs on your engine. What I'll be doing to correct that today is replace the whole throttle lever assembly, which is underneath this cover over here. And to start this job, you're going to need a 1/4 inch nut driver. You'll need to remove this bolt over here. There will be two at the front here, and there will be one by the choke knob over here. Before I take the bolts off though, I'm going to pull out the choke knob first. You can pull with your hands like this. If you cannot do it with your hands, you can use a screwdriver and just pry near the shaft where the knob is in. So just like this. And now remove all the bolts. And the last one is over here. Now you can just pull the shroud back. Now you're going to notice that there's a wire attached to the engine from the cover, so we have to remove it over here. First I'm going to remove the wire that goes to the shroud or cover that I just removed. I'm going to hold it and then hold the terminal and pull. And now I can remove the cover right out of the way. Now this is the whole part I'm replacing, so I do have to remove this wire from the terminal here. And to do that, I'm just going to pull down. And this is the connector you're going to be left with. There is a connector like this on the new part, so you do not need to remove this from the metal part. Now take note where the linkage is that goes from the governor arm to the throttle lever. I marked it with a black marker just to remember. And this is the setup, by the way. Now I'm just going to remove the two 1/4 inch bolts that hold the throttle lever to the engine. When you put these little bolts away, don't mix them up with the other bolts that held the cover on the carburetor. These two little bolts are slightly longer than the other 4 bolts that were holding the carburetor cover on. So what you need to do now is just slide this out of the linkage. Just like this. And now just leave the linkage hanging like this. And here's a close look at the throttle lever. As you can see here, it's very loose. Maybe just squeezing it in a vise may make it tighter, but because this is for a customer and because this part only cost about $20, I'm just going to go ahead and replace the whole lever. Now before you replace the lever, you will want to take off the throttle knob over here just by pulling. It may be on there a bit tight. So I'm going to grab it really good and just turn it as I pull. And there you go. And this throttle lever will be part number 35702. And this is what you get. You don't get the knob, you do get the terminal. Now the first thing I'm going to do is put the throttle knob back on. Just push it in. Just a quick tip, if you're wondering what this little screw is, it's for adjusting the high speed. When you have the throttle wide open, if you turn this little screw in, it will make your engine rev faster. If you turn it out, it will make it rev slower. It's good when you're adjusting the RPMs on your engine. Now I'm just going to go and install it on the snowblower. The first thing you want to do when you put this back on is hook the linkage on first. And you want to put it in the bottom hole as it was previously, so just slide it in there. Just like this. Now you want to bring it up and line up the 2 holes on the mechanism to the 2 holes on the shroud. There's the other hole there. And be careful not to over tighten the bolts because they could strip easily. Okay, so far I've got the throttle lever on, the linkage is connected. The next thing is to hook in the wire, and this terminal specifically will go inside the terminal here. So grab this connector here and insert it inside the terminal. There's a little groove for it to go in. Push it in as far as you can. And now you can see that when the throttle's up, it doesn't come back down. Now you're going to need the carburetor cover. Specifically now we need to connect back the wire over here to the terminal. Now this wire will connect on the terminal here at the bottom, just like this. And now you want to bring the cover over and you want to put the choke shaft through the choke hole here on the shroud. And you want to make sure that the shroud aligns with all the bolt holes. And at the front of the engine, you want to put the stab inside the hole, and then there's 2 holes for 2 bolts. Now I'm just going to put the 4 bolts holding the cover back on. And also be careful tightening up these bolts because they could easily strip as well. Now the last part to install is the choke knob. Just simply slide it back on the shaft and push. Now the final thing to do is to start up your engine to make sure everything's good. If you're going to start it up inside your shop, make sure you open up the doors to get good ventilation to get rid of that carbon monoxide. So that throttle lever works good now. The motor does stay revved up. When the lever's up, it does not vibrate back down to a lower speed. And the RPMs were good at under 3,500, so that's good to go. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have the same issue with your snowblower, now you know what to do, and it's just going to cost you the parts and your time.